didn't take no time. It didn't take no stinking time, y'all. I'm your boy Tone. This was the second. You guys are locked in on your dose of chalk up sports, where no matter if we win or if we lose, we just got to charge it to the game. I'm your guy Tone. This was the second. I do not take my presence here. I do not take this opportunity to speak to you guys for granted. So make sure you guys smash that like button. Make sure you guys are subscribed. It means a lot to me. Goes a long way. All right. Breaking news, and dare I say, some breaking mother freaking news. I mean, the Philadelphia Eagles and Jordan Davis came to an agreement here. Jordan Davis and the Philadelphia Eagles have come to an agreement on a major extension. What we have here is a three-year, $78 million extension. Okay? Let's zoom in on this to make sure we all can see this here. The Eagles are signing Jordan Davis to a 3-year, $78 million extension with $65 million guaranteed. That is so on brand for the Philadelphia Eagles. The Philadelphia Eagles have been doing this for as long as I can remember. They pay their guys. Well, let's start from the very beginning. They scout their guys. They draft their guys. They build around their guys. They develop those guys, and then they pay those guys. That is the Philadelphia Eagles way. You get drafted by the Eagles, you do good by them, they will do good by you. Very simple. Some organizations make it complicated. Some organizations are trying to make you prove it every step of the way. Some organizations are trying to make you prove it the moment you walk in the door. Jordan Davis's arc with the Philadelphia Eagles has been something to behold, because what happened with Jordan Davis coming into the league was we were all enamored by his athleticism when we saw the combine, right? We saw the combine, and Jordan Davis took the world by storm. Took the world by storm with that combine performance. We never seen a 300-pound man move that fast. But then he gets to the league, and we knew he could stop the run. He still had a ways to go to develop as a pass rusher. And then to take it a step further, he ended up hitting a rookie wall in terms of his conditioning. And his conditioning was a topic of conversation for the first couple years he was in the NFL. For the first couple years. More so his second season, because his rookie year he played behind Fletcher Cox and Javon Hargrave. So he didn't have to carry too much of the load. But then his second season comes, right? The 2023 season. He's a second-year player. The Eagles draft Jaylen Carter. We see Jaylen Carter is doing amazing things right in his rookie year. But Jordan Davis, he's stopping the run. Pass rush ability still coming along, but then he hits a wall, falls off a cliff. Conditioning is a question. We talked about it. Remember after that Bills game, after he chased Josh Allen, he never was the same player. So then the 2024 season comes. He completely retools his body, completely rebuilds his body from the ground up. The dude comes in, sheds massive weight, looks cut, athletic, has a phenomenal season. But then he takes it a step further. And by the way, he became a Super Bowl champion. But then he takes it a step further in 2025. And he comes in even more shredded. And the biggest telltale sign for me when it came to Jordan Davis in 2025, because remember, I told you guys, I don't know if the Eagles were going to pick up his fifth-year option. I'm on record saying that. I'm not running from that take. I stand by it. At the time, I wasn't sure if they were going to pick it up because of the first 2 years. I wasn't sure. You know, he had improved his conditioning, but I wasn't sure if they were going to pick up the fifth-year option. Sorry. But they did pick it up nonetheless. And then he did what he did. He did what he did in his fourth season in 2025. The telltale sign is when Jaylen Carter got hurt. And he was gone for many games. And then on top of that, when Jaylen Carter got suspended. So if I'm not mistaken here, Jaylen Carter, how many games did he miss? I got to find this out here. Jaylen Carter only played in 11 games last season. He missed 6 games. And guess what? In those 6 games, Jordan Davis stepped up. Stepped up. That's a fact. I don't care what your feelings are about it. The fact of the matter is, when Jaylen Carter wasn't there, Jordan Davis stepped his weight up, because everybody kept trying to say, well, Jordan Davis, he's only as good as when Jaylen Carter is around him. He's at his best when Jaylen Carter is around him. And of course, anybody is going to be at the peak of their powers when they got a guy like Jaylen Carter next to him. But what Jordan Davis showed was not only can he hold his water and hold it down, he showed that he can get to the quarterback, stop the run, and stay conditioned. He was still running at a high clip up until the last game of the year. And Jordan Davis has been healthy for the Philadelphia Eagles, even while dealing with the conditioning issues the first couple seasons. Jordan Davis, his rookie year, missed 4 games with an injury. But ever since then, 2023, all 17 games played. 2024, all 17 games played. 2025, all 17 games played. Jordan Davis has become an Iron Man for the Philadelphia Eagles over the past 3 seasons. At that size, at that height, at that weight, with that level of athleticism, and his conditioning has been an uphill battle, and I think he's won that battle. For him to remain healthy, be productive, make guys better around him, and be an anchor on that defensive line, money well deserved. Money well deserved. And guess what? Since you drafted Jordan Davis, you've been in 2 Super Bowls and you won 1. Since drafting Jordan Davis, you've been in 2 Super Bowls and you've won 1. And 3 out of those 4 seasons, your defense was elite. That's a fact. 3 out of the 4 seasons since Jordan Davis has been here, your defense has been elite. Most notably, the past 2 years, they've been God level. So I think this move makes perfect sense for the Philadelphia Eagles. Howie Roseman made it abundantly clear that their best course of action will be extending guys. It's not going to make much sense for them to try to find guys in free agency and overpay. They're going to have to extend guys to decrease the pressure on that cap, defer money, and give guys their money up front. Jordan Davis gets $65 million up front. So now you have Jordan Davis locked up for the next 4 years. This upcoming season is going to be his 5th-year option, and then the next 3 years are the extension. So you have Jordan Davis locked up for the next 4 years. And Jordan Davis right now is 26 years old. 26. So you have him locked up until he turns 30. And at that point, you have a chance to move on or retain him if you want. But right now, you have Jordan Davis locked up at the peak of his powers. And then I saw in the chat, I saw somebody say, I was surprised that they paid Jordan Davis before they paid Jaylen Carter. Well, I don't know if you guys realize this. The Eagles have more flexibility with Jaylen Carter than Jordan Davis. Jordan Davis was entering a contract year. Jordan Davis was entering the 5th-year option. They already picked it up. Whereas, though, Jaylen Carter, Jordan Davis was entering the 5th year. Jaylen Carter, on the other hand, is entering his 4th season. The Eagles still have to pick up the 5th-year option, which they're going to do. And then likely they're going to pay Jaylen Carter if we're using the same timeline. If we're going off the same timeline, Jaylen Carter may not get the extension this year. He'll likely get it next year. That's how I'm looking at it. If I'm paying attention to the timeline. Remember, before last season started, in May, or before May, before May, the Eagles picked up Jordan Davis's 5th-year option. And then he went into his 4th season, and now he's going to his 5th season. Jaylen Carter is entering his 4th season. They're going to pick up that option. And then likely they'll extend him the following offseason if I'm going off of the same timeline. So I love the move. I think Jordan Davis is getting better. I think Jordan Davis has proven that you can trust him. He's a team leader. And he's committed to his development. That's a big deal. That is a big deal, Philadelphia. To know that Jordan Davis is committed to his development, that says a lot. That says a lot. I'm not mad about this deal at all. I love it. I love it. And I love it. And I'm happy for Jordan Davis because Jordan Davis, his first couple years were a little murky. Not because we didn't think he was talented, but because Jordan Davis had an uphill battle with the conditioning. He had to shed the weight. He had to get familiar with that NFL speed. And I think he's elevated his game as a pass rusher. Will Jordan Davis ever be as good of a pass rusher as Jaylen Carter? Maybe not. Maybe not. But I think Jordan Davis is a apex athlete. He's a one-of-a-kind athlete. You don't find guys that big that can move like that and still maintain their conditioning and still be healthy. That's the big thing about this, you guys. You're only as good as the last game you played, and your best ability is availability. And I'm telling you right now, Jordan Davis has shown you throughout his entire career that you can trust his health. His rookie year, had a little ticky injury, missed 4 games. And actually, I'm not even sure if he was hurt. Maybe they just didn't play him because they had Milton, they had Fletcher Cox, and they had Javon Hargrave. Maybe he just didn't play. Who knows if it was an actual injury? But I do remember him getting hurt at some point. But nonetheless, the past 3 years, he's been healthy. His conditioning has gotten exponentially better. He's thrived under Vic Fangio, and he's proven that he can be productive and hold it down and lead your defensive line without Jaylen Carter, because Jaylen Carter missed 6 games this year. He missed 6 games this year. And the cap hits aren't going to be crazy. You want to know why? It's a 3-year, $78 million extension. They guaranteed him $65 million. That means $65 million going in your pocket right now. $65 million. There you go. $13 million. $13 million is going to hit your cap. If I'm understanding it correctly. Jordan Davis has become the highest paid nose tackle in the NFL and the highest paid nose tackle in NFL history. And by the way, this contract is on par with Milton Williams' contract. As of right now, Jordan Davis signing this contract ties him with former Eagle Milton Williams as the second highest paid D tackle behind Chris Jones. Chris Jones is the highest paid D tackle by far. But then you got Milton Williams and Jordan Davis tied right there. Now, I think Jaylen Carter's contract is going to dwarf. It's going to dwarf Jordan Davis's contract. I think Jaylen Carter's contract is going to be bigger than Jordan Davis's. But it all remains to be seen when it comes to Jaylen Carter, his temperament. We know Jaylen Carter, sometimes he could be a wild card emotionally. And I wouldn't be surprised if the Philadelphia Eagles put some guardrails in there. I wouldn't be surprised. let me see here. So right now, when it comes to D tackles, you got Chris Jones making 31.7 million. You got Milton Williams making 26 million. And then you put Jordan Davis right there at 26 million. Jordan Davis is tied for second as the highest paid D tackle in football. And then obviously Max Crosby is the highest paid D lineman right now with 35.5 million, I think, from about the highest paid interior. But Michael Parsons, 46.5 on the edge. Aiden Hutchinson, 45 million on the edge. TJ Watt, 41 million on the edge. Danielle Hunter, 40.1 million. Myles Garrett making 40 million. Nick Bosa making 34. Joshua Hines Allen making 28.2. Brian Burns, 28.2. Nick Bonito, 26.5. Montez Sweat, 24.5. Rashawn Gary, 24. Those are your edge guys. Max Crosby making 35.5. Chris Jones, 31.7. Milton Williams, 26. Jordan Davis, 26. Zach Allen, 25.5. Nnamdi Madubuike, 24.5. Aleem McNeil, 24.2. Derek Brown for the Panthers, 24 million. Quinyon Williams making 24 million. Jeffrey Simmons, 23.5. DeForest Buckner, 23. Like, and guess what? I have no doubt Jordan Davis is going to live up to the deal. What you want to see from your guys, you want to see guys getting better, and you want to see guys taking their craft and their health seriously. After that first year, Jordan Davis made a commitment to his conditioning. After the first couple years, because remember, he hit a wall in that second year. After those first couple years in the league, it clicked. It clicked. He knew, if I'm going to be the best player that I want to be, if he's going to be the best player for his teammates, if he's going to help actually be able to help this defense and stay on the field consistently, because that's what it came down to, right? Jordan Davis was a guy that couldn't stay on the field for all 4 downs. He couldn't stay on the field for all 4 downs, if you count 4th down, but a 3-down player. He wasn't a 3-down player those first 2 years. And then his 3rd year, him and Milton Williams was rotating, right? Because Milton Williams was a better pass rusher, but Jordan Davis was a better run defender. But Jordan Davis's conditioning came a long way. He was playing very well. Don't get me wrong, but you got Milton Williams on your team. You got to feed that beast too. 2025 was the year. 2025 was the year where he became a full-fledged 3-down player. Would you guys agree or disagree with that? And by the way, I want to know how you guys feel about the deal. I want to know how you guys feel about the deal. How do you feel about the Jordan Davis contract? Talk to me. And I know some of you guys are asking, what does it do to the cap space? All that stuff hasn't quite rolled over yet, right? I only have access to what I have access to. So I'm not exactly sure how it affects their cap space right now, but when you extend a guy, it does take pressure off. It does take pressure off. So Jordan Davis, at 26 years old, he was set to play the 2026 season on the 5th-year option of his rookie contract, which was basically a 1-year deal for $12.9 million with the matching cap hit. So this new extension should significantly lower his cap hit for the 2026 season by paying out that base salary and bonus money. So now what happens is, because you gave him the extension, you convert his 2026 contract into bonus money. And now his cap hit goes down dramatically. This transformation for Jordan Davis began in 2024. Think about this. Let me break down his snap counts for y'all over the past 4 seasons. Listen to this, y'all. In 2022, his rookie year, 224 snaps. In 2023, 519 snaps. In 2024, 338. But here's the thing, though. Here's what you got to keep in mind. In 2024, they were deep. They were deep. Jaylen Carter, Jordan Davis, Milton Williams, Moro Jomo. That D-line was deep, and they were fresh. So I wouldn't put too much stock in that 2024 snap count. Remember in 2023, when they actually gave him a large amount of snaps, he couldn't handle it. 2025, he had a career high in snaps played with 686 snaps, and he did not fall off the cliff. He did not hit that wall. It looked like he was revving up, actually. Y'all tell me. It looked like he was revving up. So I'm really excited about this. As a matter of fact, this is what we're going to do. This is exactly what we're going to do. Like I said, I want to get y'all thoughts on this. Let's get some perspectives. All right. I want to get your thoughts on this. I just put the link in the chat. I want y'all to come in. I'm going to give you guys a few minutes, a couple minutes apiece. And I want you guys to break down what's your thoughts on this deal. I want to hear what y'all thoughts are on this deal. I just put the link in the chat. This is a great move for Philadelphia. Great move. I think the Eagles are definitely gearing up to try to bring in Jalen Phillips. And I think Jaylen Carter's contract gets taken care of next offseason. That's what I think. I think the Jaylen Carter contract gets taken care of next offseason because they don't have to be in a rush. They don't have to be in a rush whatsoever to get Jaylen Carter's contract done. And they still have time to take care of Coop, and they got time to take care of Quinyon. They got time. But this had to be the first domino to fall. It had to be. And I will say, and I was talking to my man LB about it earlier, I don't think Moro Jomo is going to be here next year. Because he's in a contract year, and I just don't know if Moro Jomo gets the money. Moro Jomo is going to get paid by somebody next year. The Eagles can't pay him. And I think he knows that. And they know it as well. I think they all know that. I was telling OB, and I've been telling everybody, the core of this defense is Jaylen Carter, Jordan Davis, Quinyon Mitchell, Cooper DeJean. And I'm talking about guys they drafted. They're long-term guys. Obviously, Zack Baun hasn't shown any signs of slowing down. But, you got your Jahai Campbell, you got Jeremiah Trotter Jr. under contract. You know what I mean? You drafted Smile Mondon last year. You got some talent at linebacker. You got some time to figure that out. I think the Eagles got to figure out what's going on at safety because I don't think they're going to bring back Reed Blankenship. I don't see it. Green Wingman, thank you for the super chat. He says, didn't I see you an hour ago? Congrats to Jordan Davis. Hopefully last year wasn't a mirage from a production standpoint. Nah, I don't think so. I think the production, I think the change for Jordan Davis began in 2024. Remember in 2024, He looked fantastic. He came in shape. He lost the weight. And in 2025, he came in looking even better. I think this is a new standard for Jordan Davis. I think Jordan Davis completely understands his responsibility. He's a Super Bowl champion. He's played in 2 Super Bowls. He's a national champion. He's a consummate professional. He's a great locker room guy. He's always good vibes. I don't think this is a situation where you have to worry about Jordan Davis living up to the contract. And on top of that, Jordan Davis has proven to you over the past 3 seasons in particular that he can stay healthy. He can stay healthy. Didn't miss a single game. And the Eagles have had playoff runs. They've had playoff runs. They've had playoff runs. And Jordan Davis he's done it. And then also he has so many moments in 2025. I mean, blocking the field goal, taking it to the house. He's had some legendary moments already. He has. And I'm just happy for Jordan Davis. I couldn't be happy for this team. This is the first domino. This is the first domino to fall. And I think the next move we see, because like I said, I don't think they're rushing to pay Jaylen Carter this year. I don't think they're rushing. They still got to pick up the 5th-year option. You got him under contract for year 4 and year 5. You give him the extension, which will take pressure off for year 5. And you probably give him a 4-year extension, 3-year extension as well. I think Howie Roseman is fully in control. I think Howie Roseman is not sweating any of this stuff that's going on in the media about AJ Brown. I think Howie Roseman set his price tag and he's not stressing about anything. Because I think deep down he knows, although AJ Brown he's been sending mixed messages, let's call it what it is. AJ Brown has sent mixed messages. I think Howie knows he's a good locker room guy and he only wants what's best for the team. So I would love to have AJ Brown here, but I need to know he's all in. That's number one. And if you know that, if you get that from him, we'll see how it goes. But right now, it's about the defensive guys. It's about these guys right here on defense. And you got some guys that you got to figure out. I don't think Nakobe is coming back. I think that's over with. I don't think Reed Blankenship is coming back. I think that's over with. Like LB said, I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if Nolan Smith gets traded. I would not be surprised, especially with the emergence of Jalen Carter. But again, they have an opportunity to pick up the 5th-year option for Nolan Smith and then buy themselves some more time with that. They got time. Be on the lookout for Jalen Phillips, though. I'm hearing the Eagles want to get him re-signed because they saw what he did with that defense on the edge. And also, Jalen Phillips is how you want your edge rushers built. I love Jalen Carter. I love Nolan Smith. But Jalen Phillips is how you want your edge rusher to be built. Like, on some real shit. Jalen Phillips is 6'5", 266. Maybe he didn't have all the sacks that we expected, but Jalen Phillips, you saw that defense take it to another level when he got there. You saw that. You saw the level he took it to. You saw the pressure come off of the interior. You saw Jalen Carter take his game to another level. Jalen Phillips I think the Eagles want to hold on to him. I really, really do. And by the way, remember, they traded draft picks to get him. Let me make sure I got that right. The Eagles sent a third-round pick, a 2026 third-round pick, to the Miami Dolphins for Jaylen Phillips. Like, when you put that in perspective, a third-round pick to us ain't shit. But to get Jaylen Phillips for a third-round pick and how he unlocked your defense like that, why would you want to let that walk? Like I said, he's built the right way. 6'5", 266, long arms, rangy, setting guys up, creating opportunities for other guys. He gets pressure. Maybe he didn't have the sacks that we thought, but you see the impact. You see it. So I think Jaylen Phillips may be the next domino to fall. The Jordan Davis contract takes pressure off of the 2026 cap. Remember, the cap also increased by like 20 to 25 million, if I'm not mistaken. So Eagles, so far, so good. Love the move. We got somebody here, Nana from Ghana. Hey, I like that. I like that.
Yo, what's good, Tone?
Talk to me. So, look, man, first of all, thank you so much for coming on to the show, man. It means a lot to me. Thank you for supporting the show. Thank you for overall just locking in, man. I don't take that for granted. So, let's get into it. Jordan Davis signs a major deal with the Philadelphia Eagles, a 3-year extension worth $78 million, $65 million total guaranteed, has an average salary of $26 million. Break it down for me. What's your thoughts?
He earned it. I think he earned it, especially with his play last year. Like, you already mentioned it before, the block kicks, and especially with the down year that JC had, he had to do double duty pretty much. And even though, like, for me, I'm not really a stats guy. I just watch the games. Right. It felt like a little bit after those 2 block kicks, like he was kind of like quiet. But then, like, after we got Jaylen Phillips, he started showing off again. And just like, you know, the discipline of getting in shape, doing his thing, and covering for JC. Like, I don't know. And we don't have to worry about my fault, yo. This is first time talking on here.
No, please, you're good. I'm looking at no, you're good. To your point though, right? I like where you're going with this because Jaylen Carter, let's call it what it is. He did not have a good year last year.
Yeah.
Because he missed the games. Obviously, the year started weird, and he just didn't have the year we thought. When you watch him play, we know what he is. We know how good he is. You know, when he was playing, he was effective. Let's not act like he's not good, right? But to not have him for 6 games last year hurts you.
Right.
It hurts you. And Jordan Davis, like you said, had to come in, pick up that slack. And a lot of people used to always say, hey, well, you know, Jordan Davis, he's only as good as when Jaylen Carter's around him. Well, guess what? He had to hold it down for 17 straight games while Jaylen Carter missed 6 of those games. And I could look at that defense and I say to myself, oh, Jordan Davis wasn't the problem. You know, I felt like they had a problem at CB2. They had inconsistent play from safety. They were getting inconsistent play from that edge opposite of Jalen Hunt. Because remember, Nolan Smith was gone for the first half of the year. He came back in the second half. So it pretty much was Jordan Davis, Moro Jomo, and Jalen Hunt carrying the weight.
And then with Zadarius Smith, he was here for a bit, and then he just left.
That's what I'm saying. So that edge position was constantly in flux all year long until you got Jaylen Phillips to stabilize it. And you saw that defense completely like a Rubik's Cube. They just unlocked.
Starting with Green Bay. Like, as soon as that Green Bay game happened, it was just like, yo, that's when everyone was like, yo, after offense, we don't got to worry about that. With this defense, we're elite. Like, people saying we're looking like the 2000 Ravens and whatnot. It's like, yo, chill. Like, that was a different team. But still, like, just with the way the defense looked, as soon as we got Jaylen Phillips, that's when the whole narratives even started shifting, where it's just like, you know what, we'll deal with Patullo, even though, like, not really, but still.
I know what you mean. We definitely thought we all thought we could ride that defense to the bowl. We all did. We all did. But it gets to a point where you saw perfect example. You saw it in the wild card round. That defense did enough to win that game.
Right.
I think that defense all year was doing enough to win football games. The offense was never carrying their weight. It's just that simple. So, I love the Jordan Davis move. Like you, I think it's a great move. What do you think is the next domino to fall?
So, with Jalen Phillips, I would love to have him back because, it's not even just the play. He acclimated himself to the culture of the city right away.
Quick.
He's going on the Eagles social media team. You're seeing that he's donating to charity. He's getting his dog an Eagles jersey. He's saying "Go Birds, dickhead." It's just dog. We need him here. We need him here because all right. Let's say that we don't sign him. What are we gonna get? We're gonna get freaking the Bengals player.
Oh, Trey Henderson. Yeah.
It's dog. He's 32, 31, turning 32.
Yeah.
He just came off.
How old is Jalen Phillips? He's 26.
Come on. Come on.
Bro. Jalen Phillips and Jordan Davis the same age. Same age.
What are we talking about?
Bro.
So
now, obviously Jalen Phillips had some injuries in 2023 and 2024, but 2025 played in all 17 games in 2025. Played 9 games for Miami, 8 games for Philly. And
he's back with Vic.
He's back with Vic Fangio. You saw the impact right away. You saw it.
Immediate.
The defense looked faster. The game that's still my favorite game from that defense, personally, is that Buffalo game.
Oh, okay.
That Buffalo game, tell me if I'm wrong, or tell me if you feel different. That defense looked like they was in playoff form.
Yo, they were bullying their MVP. What was it? Wait, was that Jihad that made him fumble after going back?
Jihad made him fumble, but also they was just hitting.
Yeah,
they was just hitting, man.
Because I think Reed, he got that crazy ass tackle, flipped the dude upside down, damn near
crazy. Cooper DeJean had a crazy tackle. They just looked like a different squad that day, man. And Jalen Phillips looked. Matter of fact, Jalen Phillips forced the fumble. Jahad Campbell recovered it.
Okay.
That's what happened. So defensively, I think they're coached well.
Mm-hmm.
Keeping that D line together is going to be great. I think the linebacker room is in good shape right now.
Right.
I think the only concern really is DB. And that's CB2 and the safety position because Andrew Nakobe.
Right.
He's hurt. We don't know if Nakobe. We don't know what Nakobe is going to be coming back. We just don't know.
Right.
We don't know. And he had moments in his rookie year.
Right.
He had moments where he looked like a pro. He had moments where he looked like a rookie. And you expect that. You know what I mean? But he made some big plays, in particular in that Chiefs game.
Mm-hmm.
Caught the interception on Travis Kelce. And I like Nakobe as an athlete, like him as a talent. Has to sharpen the IQ a bit. He had moments where he kind of was out of place.
Yeah.
But again, he's a rookie, so you take that. You take the good with the bad. But what's your thoughts on the Eagles draft coming up? What do you think the target should be? What's your
we're 23
need? So so we're picking at pick 23, correct?
Okay. So Quinyon's not going to be there. Quinyon Sadiq's not going to be there. I think at this point we got to go O-line.
You think so?
Because I do want to cover up CB2.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's something that we can deal with either in trades or free agency. Because the
question is who you go get. Who do you go get? Because the question is, do you want to? I think it's the question they got to ask themselves. Do you want to go through the growing pains of drafting another corner? And look, Quinyon and Coop, that was an anomaly. I don't want people to get used to that. That's something that just doesn't happen normally. You draft 2 corners and both of them become bona fide starters in year 1 and year 2. And in year 2, they're first team all pros. That doesn't happen.
Yeah. We got to take that for what it was. So
take it for what it was.
And I don't even know outside of the O lineman and I guess who was it? Sonny Styles, everyone kept talking about in the combine, but we're good on linebacker. I wasn't really hearing too much about DBs, and even so, like we wouldn't be able to get them by the time pick 23 comes. So I think we just got to go, just shore up, tackle, guard, because with Landon Dickerson, it's like, dog, you're only like what 26, 27, and we were worried about whether or not you're going to retire. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's
crazy.
That shit is crazy. So, I'm looking at it from the perspective of you. I think they definitely. I know Lane's coming back. I know Landon's coming back, but Landon made me nervous. So now I can't even trust him.
Right.
So at this point, now I got to start investing in that O-line again. You do got some guys on the bench right now. Miles Hinton, you drafted last year. Cameron Williams, you drafted last year.
Drew
Kendall on the interior, you drafted him last year. Those are guys that I like, but I think out of all of them, Drew Kendall has shown.
Yeah.
He's shown the furthest developmental curve he could play. I think Miles Hinton and Cameron Williams still got some development to do.
What happened to the guy we got from the Rams?
We still got Willie Lampkin. We still got him. So you have talent on that interior. That's interesting. I think the tackle talent isn't as good as the interior talent for the Eagles in terms of depth goes. As far as depth goes,
because like Fred, he wants to start, even though like
Fred. I like Fred, but Fred, you're a backup, and that's cool. You can make a lot of money as a backup lineman,
right? And there's nothing wrong with that. Know your role.
Play your role.
While with Jordan, it's like, wasn't he the only one that was healthy? And he was playing like the most ass for the longest.
Bro, exactly. So that offensive line needs more talent. They got to start thinking about life beyond Lane Johnson, because frankly, I'll be honest, I don't think Lane finishes the season. I just don't. Or if he does, I don't think Lane plays the whole season. I think Lane is going to miss like 3 or 4 games this year. I'm sorry. That's just my thought process on that.
Because he's turning 36, right?
So we'll see. I don't know how old he's turning, but he's up there, man. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But Nana, man, thank you so much for taking the time, my man, for coming onto the show. It means a lot to me, my guy. Make sure you stay engaged, man. The content is going to keep flowing. February has kind of been my little downtime right now, but free agency is here. The money's getting thrown around, the moves are being made, and now it's time to get back on the horse. So the content is going to be in full effect, my man. Hopefully you're around to see everything. And man, thank you for just supporting the show.
Got you.
Take care, my guy. All right, my guy Worf.
What's up, brother? What's happening?
What's good, Worf? How we feeling, man? Talk to me, man. JD, the contract. Let's make sure we get the numbers right. So Jordan Davis, 3 years, $78 million, $65 million guaranteed, average annual salary of $26 million. This makes him tied with Milton Williams as the second highest paid D tackle in football, behind Chris Jones in Kansas City.
Look,
what's your thoughts on this move, man?
I knew it was coming, but I didn't know it was gonna be highest paid. But I forgot Milton was the highest paid, so that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? He had more sacks than Milton last year, and we let Milton walk. You know what I mean? So that it made sense. You know what I mean? So I think we're gonna re-sign Jaylen Phillips. I didn't know he was only 26, bro. That's crazy.
I didn't know that either. Like I thought he was like 28 or something. Like,
yeah, only 26.
26 is.
Yeah, and I think we're gonna use the 5th year on Nolan. I think because we still need depth behind the defensive edge. Because I don't think we're bringing BG back. I think that's the ship that said. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because to your point about that, when they asked Howie about it, he said this when I knew that. Oh yeah, Howie not really pressed about that. He was like, BG is always welcome in Philadelphia.
Yeah,
when he said that, I was like, no shit, he welcome in Philadelphia. Like, like what you mean? Like, but that told me like, oh, okay, he just trying to play the word game, man.
Yeah,
I think to your point, that shit, and that's not to say BG wasn't. I think BG played all right, all things considered. But I think you need to turn the page on that, and it just looked desperate when it happened.
Right.
It screams desperation, and as good as he played, that's a bad sign for your defense already. But Jaylen Phillips coming there completely changed the game.
Yeah,
changed the game for how he looked.
I don't know who's our other than Jaylen, Phillips, and Nolan. Who's behind them in the edge rotation?
Ooh, so to be honest with you, the only edge guys under contract right now are Jalen Hunt and Nolan Smith.
Yeah, so Phillips is getting re-signed. We gonna make that happen. I'm already knowing. And then like I said, with Nolan, they're gonna pick that fifth year up. And we'll probably get another one, maybe free agency, maybe in the draft, or hell, bring somebody off somebody practice squad. But yeah, we're gonna need some depth there. And then I got a question about that draft though, man. So
For sure.
I think everybody knows that, offensive lineman is probably like the number one. But
I think it's torn between DB and O-line.
I was just about to get to that point. So what if the best player available was a DB?
I'm taking him.
You gonna take him?
I'm taking him.
I was kind of torn with that because, like, say if Caleb Downs fall, like, you know what I mean. And I wouldn't mind taking a risk on Caleb, but I don't know.
Caleb, he the best right now. They saying he by far the best safety in the draft, maybe the best DB in the draft, and I get it. And the size is there. 206, 6 feet, ran a 4.45. That's good speed. That's great speed actually for the position. I mean, I think sometimes I saw somebody say 4.45 is slow. I'm like, do you know how fast that is?
Yeah, that's come on,
like don't get caught up with these 4.2s and 4.2s and 4.29s and 4.3. Like those don't happen like that.
Right. And then most of them they run faster in the game because they're actually chasing something. Like, you know what I mean? So
exactly. So Caleb Downs, that will be interesting. They got the white boy Dylan Thiemann out of Oregon, the safety.
Yeah, I didn't know what that was. Boy, it was moving.
Yeah, he cool. AJ Halsey out of LSU, 215, 6 feet. Like I like the size on these safeties. I can't lie. All of them 6 feet or higher, over 200 pounds. I'm cool with that because when you think about Andrew Nakobe, he kind of slight.
Right.
But he athletic, he physical. I expected rookie growing pains, right? I expect him to make mistakes as a rookie. But at the same time, he coming off that injury. You don't know what you're going to get from him. I'm trying to think how many games did he play? Because listen, when you get hurt as a rookie, you missing a lot of grass time. He played 11 games, so he missed 6 games. That's still a lot of time. He had 2 interceptions. He made an impact. Let's not get it twisted.
Yeah, he made impacts. Like you said, he made mistakes though, like that Chiefs game when he let the damn ball go off his damn head, but he made a pick that game too though. So
yeah, big one.
Live with it.
Yeah, and I think another mistake he had was in that Vikings game. In that Vikings game, he gave up something over the top.
Yep.
I'm trying to think. Was it Addison who scored? I can't remember.
It was Addison.
So he's had his moments, but he's a rookie. You throw a rookie safety out there, he's gonna make mistakes. The question is, can you survive them? And overall, they did survive the mistakes. I think he's good though. He's a playmaker. I'll tell you that though. He's a playmaker. He's a ball hawk.
Ball hawk for sure.
And he's prone to take that ball away. I think he had the interception in preseason, had a forced fumble in preseason, right?
Then he had the forced fumble and the fumble return.
Yeah, and he had 2 picks this year. He had 3 pass deflections, half a sack. He's a guy that you can move him around. You can rush him to the quarterback. Right. I like his skill set, but I think there's still uncertainty around that DB position.
Yeah, man, that's still hard though, man. Because if Lane go down, man.
That's what I'm saying, and I think he's thinking about that.
And do we have the offensive line coach to really wait and pass on the lineman since Stout gone? You know what I mean?
That's a good point. Can you afford to pass on a bona fide talent and develop a guy? Because this guy that we brought in, I think his name is Chris Cooper or something like that. Former, and he used to play in the league. Used to be a guard. He's a former Pro Bowler. Well, I'm sorry, not a former Pro Bowler, but he's been a starter pretty much his entire career when he played. He was an interior lineman, so he knows his stuff. But we don't know what his track record is as far as development. He has to prove it to us.
Exactly.
So can you afford to pass on a guy who's a legit talent and get somebody in the second or third round and let Chris Cooper develop him.
Right.
That's something you're gonna have to. That's something you're gonna have to wrestle with, and then it also depends on what happens ahead of you, ahead of pick 23.
Yeah.
I'm looking at other teams' needs, and I'm like, how is this shit gonna fall?
They say them linemen gonna fly off the board, man. That's what they saying.
I can see that. I could definitely see that. You know, because when you think about the way the Super Bowl was played, both of those D lines was eating. And at the end of the day, we Eagles fans, we know how this thing go. It's starting the trenches.
Yeah, for sure. Always.
Yeah. So let me get your thoughts on, because we talked JD. Do you think the Jaylen Carter contract happens this offseason or next offseason?
Like, I agree with you. We can wait. I mean, it's no rush on it. Like, what's this? This was his third year, right?
Yeah, so he going into year 4. They got to pick up his 5th-year option by they got to pick up the 5th-year option. Make sure I got it right here. So they have until, where is that? All right, so yeah, they got until May 1st. They got until May 1st to pick up that 5th-year option.
Yeah, they gonna pick it up. They're gonna pick it up. I think they'll pick it up. Of course,
they gonna pick it up for sure. And you mentioned Nolan as well. They probably pick his up too.
Mm-hmm.
Just so they had the flexibility.
Yeah.
So they don't got to rush for the Jalen. They really don't.
Then because last year they said he came in camp out of shape.
That's what everybody kept saying. I heard that from more than one person.
Came in out of shape. Then his shoulders was messed up. So that's another reason to even come. Let's get one more year, get back to the level that you used to playing in, and then we'll pay you next offseason. So
yeah, because I will say this though, when he came back from the injury and later in the year, he looked good. He looked fresh,
better. Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, like needed to get that shoulder right, or he stayed in shape, or at least got in better conditioning.
Yeah.
But I'm not concerned about Jaylen Carter's talent. I'm not. That's not the question. For me, I look at it from the perspective of how's that contract going to be structured? Because we know he a wild card to an extent.
Yeah, I mean, you need that nastiness though, man.
You do.
You need that nastiness. You just can't go overboard like spitting on motherfuckers. That shit was crazy. That shit was crazy. I can't get over that, man. That shit was crazy.
Yeah, that should have been a sign for how I see it was going to go.
I'm telling you, bro. I'm like, man.
The first play before the first snap. Oh my goodness. What's your thoughts on this AJ situation, man?
I mean, I think everybody feel the same. I mean, if y'all willing to give up what we want, I mean, I don't nobody want them to leave. I don't think anybody with common sense don't want them to leave.
Right.
But it's just like, man, if you're gonna give up that first, that second, and the player, I mean, it is what it is. Like he said, like I was talking, you and LB was talking earlier. What, he 28, about to be 29 or something like that?
Yeah.
Had them knee issues. I mean, first, second, and the player. Yeah. And let's get this thing rolling. We can get somebody else. Go get Stephon Diggs for a year. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I really like I don't know. People don't call me crazy, but sometimes I feel like I'm on an island with this one, man. Like I think Darius Cooper just needs some opportunities, man. I like that young boy.
Oh yeah, I think he's gonna be straight too.
I'm not saying he could be a number one, but he could be somebody that you got in your offense that's just that Rashid Shaheed type, like a guy that's just effective. You got to know where he at all times.
Yeah, he definitely looked good, especially in the preseason. He got a couple snaps in the regular season though, but yeah.
Yeah, and they showed trust in him on the back end of the season for sure. They showed some trust in him. He had that one bonehead moment in
that Washington game, I think.
Yeah. That's what it was. So
damn, I meant to ask you something. I was just about. Well, oh yeah, you think we trade Tanner McKee this offseason?
Nah, because if you do, you gotta completely figure out your backup quarterback situation because Sam Howell's not under contract.
Yeah.
So you're not gonna have nobody behind Jalen. I don't think they would do that. Tanner, he's been here. He knows the players. He knows what they like. Do I see Tanner McKee being here beyond this year? Probably not. Because
This is last year, or
let me double check his contract. I think this is the last year of his deal, but
man, we
let me
don't
double
get.
check it.
Oh man, I mean, I guess having the quality backup better than not getting. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because shit, anything can happen. Let's keep it real. Anything can happen, but he is entering the final year of his contract, and if there's a team desperate enough, they'll throw some money his way.
Yeah,
they'll throw some money his way, man. But Wharf, man, thank you so much, man. As always, you stay locked in. You always show love.
already, bro.
For sure, man. You already know, man. Take care, all right?
Yep.
Shout out to my man Wharf, y'all, man. Listen, as always, you guys do great work showing love to the channel. This Jordan Davis contract is a positive sign for what's to come. I think we should all be really excited. I think we all should be really excited about what's going on right now. Damn, dog. I think we should all be really excited about what's going on right now. It's the first domino. So I'm going to put a poll in the chat real quick. And I want to know what you guys think the next move is going to be. Let me see here. All right. Do you guys think Jalen Phillips gets paid first? Do you think Jaylen Carter gets paid? This fucking toy. Let me see. Jalen Phillips gets paid. Let's see. Does Jaylen Carter get paid? Or AJ Brown gets traded? I'm curious. I need to know what y'all thoughts on this. What's the Eagles' next move? Let's see here. So far, most of you guys are saying Jalen Phillips gets paid. Some of you guys are saying Jalen Carter gets paid. Let's see. None of you guys are saying AJ Brown gets traded right now, which is interesting. Yeah, most of you guys are leaning towards Jalen Phillips getting his money. Darth Panda says Jalen Phillips is going to be priced out. You think so? Let's see. I don't know, man. I heard the Eagles are actively working to get Jalen Phillips back in here. That's what I heard. Make sure you guys smash that like button. Make sure you guys are subscribed. Ty Child of the Most High says, can we restructure Jurgens and Jake? I mean, I'm pretty sure they can. The question is, how much will it help? Will it do more long-term damage than present good? That's the question. Because you can restructure anybody. You can restructure anybody. The question is just how much will it help? Is it worth it? TDK says, excuse me. TDK says, I want Jalen Phillips, but he's not worth more than $20 million a year. If that, I don't know, man. He's 26. He's 26, and we saw what he did to that defense. We saw it. We like don't just look at the stats. If you remember what those games looked like, he unlocked that defense. He added another level to that defense. He did. He did. That's just the truth. That is just the truth, y'all. But all right, look, we're gonna get out of here, man. Thank you guys so much for showing love. Oh, let me go to the super chat. Sorry, let me go through these. We'll get out of here. All right. Green Wingman with the super chat says, didn't I see you? Oh, yeah, I read that already. But still, I read it again. He says, didn't I see you an hour ago? Congrats to Davis. Hopefully last year wasn't a mirage from a production standpoint. Yeah, Greeny, I agree. Miss Fanny back again. She says, every defensive player that gets a contract, and thank you for the super chat, Miss Fanny. She says, every defensive player that gets a contract deserves every penny they get. They all earned it. Defense wins championships. Congrats to the big man. Yeah. Yeah, I agree, Fanny. Dank Bird Gang, he says, JD getting that paper. I see you, big fella. Facts. Facts. Let's see. Miss Linda Washington, she says, go Birds. Thank you, Miss Linda. And King the Kid says, Jaylen Carter rumors crazy right now. Sounds like the Eagles want to do his deal now, but Jaylen Carter's agent wants to hold out till next year so he can get $40 million. Woo! I wouldn't be surprised though. That's totally not unrealistic. I mean, $40 million is nuts. He's not getting $40 million. But because I think Chris Jones is at 31.7. $40 million is a huge jump. It's a huge jump. But nonetheless, I know Jaylen Carter's going to get paid. The question is, how will it be structured? He's going to get $30 million. He's getting a minimum of $30 million. That's the truth. He's getting the minimum of $30 million. And you also got to factor in the production. So I think a Jaylen Carter contract is probably going to be somewhere between 28 and 32 million, maybe between 29 and 33 million, something like that. Because as much as we love Jaylen Carter, he has not had a Chris Jones season yet. That's the truth, y'all. That's the truth. Let's be honest about this. As much as we love Jaylen Carter, he has not had that Chris Jones dominant season yet. Am I wrong? Tell me if I'm wrong. Because like if you could look at Chris Jones's production over the past several years. Now, to put it in perspective, Chris Jones, his breakout season was 2018, where he had 16 sacks. That was crazy. But 2017, his second season, he had 7 sacks. His rookie season, he had 2 sacks, right? But Chris Jones is a Hall of Famer. Chris Jones is going to be a Hall of Famer. And I don't think Jaylen Carter has had a Chris Jones type of season yet. So therefore, he may not get Chris Jones money. He may not. Jaylen Carter, like we said, if Jordan Davis got 26, if Milton Williams got 26, right? And who else? Namadi Matabuke, 24.5, Zach Allen, 25.5. Like Jaylen Carter might get 30 million. Chris Jones is at 31.5 or 31.7. Can you justify him getting more? Can you say Jaylen Carter deserves to get paid more than Chris Jones? As much as I like Jaylen Carter, I can't say that right now. Especially coming off of the 2025 season he had. Had to get surgery on the shoulders, which I'm not worried about that. But only played in 11 games. Sometimes could be a head case. Like, and remember, the cap has been going up. And Milton got 26, JD got 26. With the cap going up. Like I said, I think a Jaylen Carter contract is going to be between 29 and 33 million. That's what I think. Y'all just throwing numbers out there. Like, y'all just throwing numbers out there. I'm telling you right now, you got to look at the market. Okay, let me ask you guys this question, right? What kind of production do you need to see to justify $40 million. Because y'all just saying $40 million out of, y'all just saying that. He's not an edge rusher. Let's make that clear. He's not an edge rusher. Edge rushers get paid in D tackles. That's what it is. He's not an edge rusher, okay? I think y'all getting that edge rusher money mixed up with that D tackle money. Thank you for the super chat, King the Kid. I think some of y'all getting that edge money mixed up with that D tackle money. Chris Jones did what he did and couldn't even scratch $35 million. Yo. The highest paid D tackle right now is 31.7. 31.7. Clifton Harris says Aaron Donald was a D tackle that got big money. There's levels to this shit. There's levels to this shit, yo. We comparing prime Aaron Donald to Jaylen Carter today. Come on, yo. Come on. Come on. See, when we have the honest conversations, it always sounds like I'm dissing. It always sounds like I'm dissing. But I'm not. When we start talking about the honest conversation and the money in the business, it always sounds like I'm dissing. But I'm not dissing. Eagles Scout Room said Aaron Donald did say Jaylen Carter was the next him. Well, he hasn't had the production to say that. That's not my opinion. I think Jaylen Carter is the best D lineman on the Eagles. I do. But right now, if you look, and I visually see what Jaylen Carter brings. It's obvious, especially last year in the playoffs. We know how good he is. But you also got to follow the market. And you don't just want to give guys money just to give them money. You don't just want to just throw money out the window. You don't just want to give a player $40 million just because people tell you got to give him $40 million. I think realistically, we should expect Jaylen Carter to have a contract that ranges between 29 to 33, maybe 34 million today. I want to make that very clear. Today, on what is that? March 7th, Saturday. I love this. I love this take right here. TDK, I love this take, and I'm gonna tell you why. He says, I think dudes get overpaid all the time. He says, I think dudes get overpaid all the time. TDK, you're right. But that's in free agency. And that's the part that people got to understand. We're not talking about a free agent. Free agent, you overpay for free agents. You don't overpay for guys you got in the building already. You don't overpay for guys you got in the building already. That's the reason why you want to draft a guy, develop a guy, and pay the guy. That's the reason why you want to pay the guys. And like my man Marcus always says, keep your homeboys at home. That's the reason why you want to pay the guys you got in the building, because it's significantly cheaper to pay a guy you already got in the building than it is to pay a guy that you don't have in the building, because you're not just bidding against yourself. You're bidding against other teams. So TDK, you're right. Dudes get overpaid all the time. But when you got them in the building already, nah, it ain't that. And they're going to pick up the fifth-year option. They have him under contract for 2 years. They're going to have him under contract for 2 years. But I'm not somebody that's just going to jump out the window and say, give Jaylen Carter $40 million because that's what he's going to be worth. No. I'm looking at these edge rusher contracts right now, and I'm telling you, it's not the same. It's not the same. Micah Parsons is making $46.5 million. Aiden Hutchinson, 45. TJ Watt, 41. Danielle Hunter, 40. Myles Garrett, 40. Is Jaylen Carter Myles Garrett? JTHJ24 says Carter is the primary reason why we won the Rams game and advanced to the bowl. I don't want to hear that BS about him not playing to his potential. He is injured because he plays more snaps than anyone. Well, thank God you don't make money decisions, JTJ, because with all due respect to Jaylen Carter, hey, I appreciate you for doing what you did in that Rams game, and I appreciate what you did in 2024. We're in 2026. We're in 2026. We're in 2026. That may sound bold. That may sound rude, or we're in 2026. Sorry. His season last year. Hold on one second. All right, anyway, my bad, y'all. My dog is always trying to play. So, yeah, that was 2024. We're in 2026. Well, if you want to look at it for 2025, then, yeah, it was 2025, technically. But, yeah, the point is being hurt factors into the money. Not being available factors into the money. Your production factors into the money. Your reliability factors into the money. Okay. Thank you, JTJ. Threw me the oop. I love it. I love it. What Jordan Davis has done, and again, I'm not advocating to not pay Jaylen Carter, and I think that's where JTJ is getting me mixed up. I'm not advocating against paying Jaylen Carter. And this is where emotions get involved. We're not, whether you realize it or not, this isn't emotion talking. I'm not talking with emotion whatsoever. Jordan Davis hasn't missed a game in 3 consecutive seasons. He's shown a propensity and a consistency to get better in the pass rush and in run defense, and his conditioning has reached an all-time high for him. When Jaylen Carter went down, Jordan Davis was the anchor of that defensive line and held it down. You see, don't get too caught up in numbers. Jordan Davis held that defensive line down while Jaylen Carter was gone. Became a 3-down player. Became a 3-down player last year. Became a 3-down player last year. Yeah. Became a 3-down player last year. And he proved that he can play and affect the game without Jaylen Carter. Now, again, I want to make this clear. There's no emotion with this, because when the business gets involved, people get sensitive, and I see that, and that's okay. I get it. When the business start coming up, guys get sensitive, because he's operating under the sentiment that I don't want to pay Jaylen Carter. No. I want to pay Jaylen Carter. I want Jaylen Carter here. What I'm explaining to you, and I'll say it slower, Jaylen Carter is not getting $40 million. And he's done nothing to warrant $40 million. Simple as that. Simple as that. I'm willing to go as high as 35 million. I'm willing to go as high as that. 40 million? Do y'all know what the fuck 40 million is? I think 26 million is reasonable for Jordan Davis at his position. Milton Williams makes 26 million. 26 million at D tackle was like not even that much anymore. I mean, it's ranked second, but this isn't even about Jordan Davis. It's not about Jordan Davis at all. I'm putting my flag in the sand. I'm putting my flag in the sand, and I'm saying if Jordan Davis got 26, I can see Jaylen Carter getting between 28, 29, and 34, 35 at the most, and I'm pushing it. Because I'm looking at the market. I'm looking at the business. I'm looking at what guys at his position get paid. And as of right now, Chris Jones is the highest paid D tackle in football at $31.5 million. And there have been a ton of D tackles who have had production. And they still haven't gotten to 31 million. I've seen D tackles who've been more productive than Jaylen Carter and still didn't get 30 million. So all of a sudden, you want me to believe that because Jaylen Carter is talented, which he is, you want me to believe that Jaylen Carter is just going to command 40 million? What are we talking about? What are we talking about? We're just throwing numbers out there because it sounds good. That's the problem. That's the problem with the internet right now. People just say stuff to get a reaction. Like what are we talking about? Jaylen Carter is going to get paid. He's not getting 40 million. He's not getting 40 million. He's not getting 40 million. I'll say it one last time. He's not getting 40 million. The fuck you think Howie Roseman is an idiot? What are you saying? Like, this shit is nuts. Let's see what else we got here. Let's see what else we got. Because, yeah, once again, congratulations to Jordan Davis, man. 26 million, not a bad deal whatsoever. Not a bad deal at all. Not a bad deal for him at all. He mad as shit. Oh my God. he mad as shit. Wait, let me put it over here, yo. He mad as shit, yo. You didn't overpay for Jordan Davis. You didn't. You didn't. Oh man. I think Jordan Davis deserved that money. He definitely deserved that money, man. Jordan Davis, what a remarkable story. Remarkable play. I think the sky is the limit for him. He's only going to get better. I'm looking forward to seeing, Jaylen Carter in year 4. You know, he came into the 2025 season out of shape. Had to deal with the shoulder. You know. Meanwhile, Jordan Davis didn't miss a single game. No spitting on nobody. You know what I mean? But Don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. I'm a Jaylen Carter fan. I love Jaylen Carter. I think he's a phenomenal player, and the Eagles are going to pay him. They're going to pay him. He's not getting $40 million. He's not getting $40 million. So let me read this one. Ampian Key, I think that's how you said it. Ampian says, what's the price if Jaylen Carter has a monster year? You stay at 30. What's a monster year to you? I'm not just answering random questions anymore. I need more context. What's a monster year? What does that mean? You know, we say we say a lot of words. And by the way, this is not against you, but you know, I'm not answering hypotheticals that don't have substantial context. What's a monster year? Somebody help me out. Somebody help me out. What's a monster year? I need context with that. What's a monster year? Because of everything too, right? We've never seen Jaylen Carter have a double-digit sack season, yet y'all want to give him $40 million. Think about that. We haven't even seen him have a double-digit sack season. And we talking about giving him $40 million. Name brand says 12 sacks. Okay. Name brand says 12 sacks is a monster year. Marcus Messiah says first team All Pro and defensive player of the year. Okay. Linda says similar to 2024 year. That 2024 year wasn't a monster year. With all due respect, Ms. Linda. With all due respect, that 2024 season wasn't a monster year. I mean, he was a second team All Pro. Don't get it twisted. He was a Pro Bowl, second team All Pro. But I mean, he did have 12 TFLs. That's a big deal for me. Y'all know me. I love TFLs. Y'all know me. I love my TFLs. So let's see. Ian Singer says double-digit sacks and TFLs, a few forced turnovers. Teams average low rush yards per game. AJ Harris says 8+ sacks, All Pro and Pro Bowl. Am says, good, self-explanatory. I'm not a stats guy. Relevance is the same money. But I just want to know what a monster year is. A monster year means to people, because I think people have their own definition of what a monster year is. You guys want to hear what a monster year is? Well, actually, no. Let me not use that as an example. That's unfair. So, and remember, we're talking about a D tackle. So, a monster year for a D tackle. Let's compare it to that, right? Let's just go to Chris Jones, because Chris Jones is the ceiling, right? Let's do that. Chris Jones is 31, and he's the ceiling. Okay. Let's see here. So I'm looking at Chris Jones, right? I'm looking at Chris Jones, and I'm looking at one of Chris Jones' seasons. Let's say 2022. Chris Jones had 15 and a half sacks, 17 TFLs, 4 pass deflections, 2 forced fumbles, a fumble recovery, 44 total tackles, Pro Bowl, All Pro. That's a monster year. That's a monster year. Like, again, and some people felt like, and by the way, Chris Jones is the only D tackle in football making that money. The only D tackle. The next closest guy is 26. Put that in perspective. There's not many guys at the D tackle spot making over 30 million. There's only one guy. One. Just one. Just one. And if Milton Williams is getting paid $26 million. If Milton Williams is getting paid 26, Jordan Davis is getting paid 26. Dog. Yo, go look at the D tackle contracts and go look at their production. Seriously. Go look at those D tackle contracts. Matter of fact, I'll bring it up on screen. Fuck it. Siri, please. Let me see. Let's bring up these D tackle contracts. Let's do that.
I don't see a missing in your.
Let's do that. Okay. No need to even overcomplicate this. All right. We're looking at interior defensive lineman contract averages. Okay. All right. So, and look, Spot Rack, they combine these guys. I don't know why they do this, but anyway, Max Crosby, they got him as an interior D lineman. I guess I don't know why, but it is what it is. Nonetheless. So let's look at it. Max Crosby, 35.5 million on the edge. Chris Jones, 31.7 at D tackle. Milton Williams, 26. Zack Allen, 25.5. Nnamdi Madubuike, 24.5. Aleem McNeil, 24.2. Derek Brown, 24. These are guys These are ballers. Y'all gotta watch some other teams. Y'all gotta watch some other teams. And remind you, this list didn't update. Jordan Davis isn't on this list yet. This list has to update still. But I know how elite Jaylen Carter is. I know. But these are dogs. Jeffrey Simmons is a dog. Derrick Brown is a dog. Dexter Lawrence is a dog. $21.8 million. Dexter Lawrence. Like, look at the gap between Milton Williams and Chris Jones. Look at the gap. 26 million and 31.75. There is a $5.75 million difference between Milton Williams and Chris Jones, and Milton Williams is significantly younger than Chris Jones. Now, Jaylen Carter is going to get top 5 money. That's a fact. Thank you, Tiffany. Thank you. Well, hold on, wait. Was that Tiffany that said that? She said Carter's getting top 2 money. He's going to get top 5 money for sure, easily. Big Bird says Carter should be in like the 20 to 29 million range when his extension comes around. Listen, like I said, I was being generous when I said 35. I was being generous. You think the Eagles don't factor in his temperament? You think the Eagles don't factor in his personality? That contract is going to be laced with incentives and contingencies. He came out of shape this year. He spit on Dak Prescott earlier this year. And he's had a couple moments on the sideline where he had to get held back. There's going to be, that contract is going to be laced with a bunch of contingencies for the Eagles. Like, that's just what it is. And by the way, I want to put in perspective too. D tackles don't really get double-digit sack seasons. It's not really common. It's not something that just happens. You know, guys get it on the resume a few times in their careers, but it's not common. It always comes up. It comes up it came up when they drafted him. What are we talking about? Name Brand says, why does his personality come up when it's time to pay? We knew who he was when we drafted him. Yeah, but guys have to mature after a certain point. But what are we talking about? Guys have to mature. Just because you were one way when I let you in my house, doesn't mean I expect you to stay the same. Like, there has to, a maturity has to happen. When these teams aren't, you want to know why the Eagles took a chance on Jaylen Carter? You want to know one of the reasons why? They took a chance on him because they had the infrastructure to be able to develop a guy like that mentally and emotionally. They still have Fletcher Cox, Jordan Davis, the Georgia boys. They had Darius Slay, right? They brought in Clint Hurt. Like they created a situation. They had a situation that they can put Jaylen Carter in. But you don't draft a guy with maturity issues and expect him to stay immature, especially when you're paying the guy eventually. Eventually, you got to pay the guy. I'm not just giving a guy money if he can't conduct himself well. Now, granted, I don't think it's going to be a problem, but okay. Jaylen Carter in 2024, 2025 became a Super Bowl champion, was a second-team All-Pro, took the trophy back to his hometown, his home city. And on opening night, he spit on Dak Prescott. What? On opening night, after becoming a Super Bowl champion, there's a certain level of there's a certain way you got to move when you become a champion. When you become a champion, certain shit ain't cool no more. And then another thing I disagree with you, Name Brand. Another thing I disagree with you with. Name Brand says he's the enforcer, though. I don't need my $30 million D tackle to be the enforcer. You get paid to play. You don't get paid to enforce shit. Enforcers are bench guys. Enforcers are guys who gives a fuck about their production. What are we talking about? I don't need my $30 million, $40, $50 million man being an enforcer. What? What are we talking about? So all I'm trying to say is the Eagles are going to pay him, but they are going to list that contract with some incentives. I don't need Jaylen Carter to be an enforcer. What do I need him to be an enforcer for? I need him to play. I need him to play. That's what I need. That's what you need. Leave that enforcer shit for guys for that basketball shit, that NHL shit. An enforcer. I'm not paying him $30 million to be an enforcer. Nah. I think we got two different definitions of what an enforcer is. Now, Jaylen Carter is the kind of dude that you want. He don't take no shit from nobody, and he play with an edge. And you want guys on your team that got that dog in them, got that edge in them. I don't want to take the dog out of the man. I always say I'd rather have to pull a guy off the edge than to push him to the edge. I love what Jaylen Carter brings to the table. I love the fact that Jaylen Carter plays a nasty game. I love it. But you got to be smart. 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 You got to find creative ways to get in the opponent's head. You got to find creative ways. Like, you got to find, I'm not even, like, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, Marcus Messiah, he not Draymond Green. What are we talking about? I'm paying Jaylen Carter to be on the football field. I'm not paying him to enforce anything. Enforce it with your play. Give me 3 sacks in the game. Enforce that shit. Enforce that. You know what I mean? Enforce that. Enforce that. Like I said, I think he's going to get paid. I think he's going to get paid. He's going to get paid somewhere around $30 million. I do believe that. He's going to get paid somewhere around 28, 30. I think 33 is as high as I'm willing to go. That's the highest I'm going. That's the highest I'm going. Jaylen Carter is going to get paid somewhere between 28 and 33 million. That's where I'm at with that. You know, you don't just give guys money just because you can. And again, I'm really happy. I'm really happy for Jordan Davis. Really happy for him. Talented player, an athlete. Conditioning has gone through the roof. Getting better every single year. I love it. I love it. I love it. Namebrand says, that's what I'm saying. I think Nakobe helping him factors into his free agency. I don't think Nakobe's going to be here. If he is, that'd be crazy to me. Because I think a team is going to pay Nakobe some money. I think a team is going to pay Nakobe some decent money at that position, more money than the Eagles want to pay. Tiffany Simpson says off topic, but the Harris family is killing 50. 50 came back though. He got this Leon Thomas record. That's strong. Strong. Andrew Nathan says that JD resign is also for Jaylen Carter. It's easy to keep him in line when big bros on the team. Yeah, I mean, look, Jaylen Carter is a talented player. You know what I mean? But he still has to prove that he's a leader on this team. He's a talented player, but he still has to prove that he's a leader. They need you on the football field. And again, I think he's going to get paid. He's not going anywhere. He's going to get paid. So we don't have to debate that. That's a moot point. He's going to get paid. The question is how much and how will the contract be structured? All right, man. I was supposed to get out of here, but I got wired up. All right, you guys. I'm going to get out of here, man. I've been live for a long time. They've been live for like damn near 3 hours. So make sure you guys smash that like button. Make sure you guys are subscribed, man. Make sure you guys follow me on X. I really do appreciate it. Yeah, man. Congratulations to Jordan Davis. Money well deserved. Money well spent for the Philadelphia Eagles. This is the first domino to fall. There's definitely some more moves on the horizon. It all remains to be seen what it will be. Will it be the Philadelphia Eagles re-signing Jalen Phillips? Will it be the Philadelphia Eagles extending Jaylen Carter? What will it be? What will it be? Will it be an A.J. Brown trade? Who knows? Who knows? But I will say this, though. I think so far, the Eagles are on the right track. They did the right thing, extending Jordan Davis, which is going to buy you time, which is going to provide you more cap space for this season. I expect the Eagles to draft well. And I'm really excited what this coaching staff is going to do, but we're going to take this piece by piece, step by step. Shout out to Jordan Davis, man. Shout out to him. Let me see here. Stacey Jenkins said they had Tone backtracking down dumbass comments. Hey, listen, man, it's all content at the end of the day, man. You know, I don't take none of this personal. It's just content. You know, everybody got their opinion, whether or not they're trolling or not. Everybody got their opinion. So it is what it is. All right. That's all, you guys. I've been your humble host, Tone DeShields II. You guys have been locked in on Chalk It Up Sports, where no matter if we win or if we lose, we just got to charge it to the game.